Hi, all, and welcome to another week of seeing me on a screen. This is week 5 of your distance learning. Hope that you still are learning, that you're doing your assignments, you're keeping up. Hopefully, it's not been overwhelming between my class and other classes, but just kind of a healthy pace of you continuing to do schoolwork and learning, building that brain of yours with more knowledge, more things that you should be learning if we weren't in the predicament that we find ourselves in the world. So let's keep doing things. I don't know. I was thinking about current events. Do you want to update on coronavirus? It's still out there. So stay indoors. We in Hialeah things are bad. In Miami-Dade things are bad. If you read reports about different parts of the country, please keep yourselves safe. I know life gets boring, and we've been at this for a long time now, over a month of you probably being almost exclusively in your house. Don't give up on this. It's still an important time, an important task for you to stay home and stay safe. Hopefully your families and everybody that you know is good, healthy, safe still. Let's keep it that way. All right. And while you're healthy and good, let's continue with learning stuff, right? We have new lessons for this week, but let's first look at last week. And I've already read a good bit, haven't necessarily graded them yet into the grade book, but your poems. Thank you. Thank you for your poems. I truly enjoy reading your writing much more than clicking the Edgenuity. I don't want to overwhelm you with writing all the time, so I thought an 8-line poem was not overwhelming. But as far as I'm concerned, I've really enjoyed reading a lot of your poems. You guys wrote on all kinds of different topics, many of them uplifting, just looking at things and seeing beauty in the world, and I appreciate that. Several of them focusing on what is predominant in our lives right now, our situation between quarantine and health. So all of those themes I thought were great, and hopefully you enjoyed that assignment. This week, we're getting back to more of our routine. Our routine has been Edgenuity. I will mention once again, and I think we've straightened this out with most people, but please use Edgenuity through the LAFS link, LAFS. Okay, so when you go into Edgenuity, you have an option to go to camp lessons, camp courses, and that'll give you all kinds of different subjects, which I've also encouraged that you self-enroll in any one of those courses, either SAT practice or different subjects that you aren't taking. I want learning to continue to be a thing that you don't just do this month or this 9-week grading period, throughout the summer, throughout next year, however long. Edgenuity is a resource where you see that you have subjects that you can learn from. Use it to whatever extent you can. But coming back to your language arts class, the LA in LAFS refers to language arts. You see that would probably make sense. That's the place that you need to click and do the lessons there. Yes, you could find the same lessons in camps, but I won't see your work. So you'll need to turn it in differently. Differently is the LAFS. Are we clear on that? So if you know where to find Edgenuity lessons, then this week you'll have 2 new Edgenuity lessons. So for 10th grade, it's the RI 1.2, and for 8th grade, the RI 1.3s. So 2 lessons from there, RI being reading informational texts. So we're focusing on informational texts for both of the assignments this week. From Machiavelli's The Prince to the last lecture, you have some good content, things that I've enjoyed. I'm skipping through a lot of the lessons, and I think these are ones that I enjoy at least. Hopefully you do, and yeah, do the work accordingly. Remember again to do all of the activities through, from the instruction to the activities, the assignment, the summary, and then the quiz. Don't just jump straight to the quiz. I won't give you full credit for that. So you have to do all the assignments leading up to it. And yes, you could retake those assignments. I think a trick for the retaking is not a trick, it's just it wants you to exit the program, exit the lesson. You can't retake it right away. It'll kind of take a moment to process. So you exit it, go back, maybe review, go back to the instruction, go back to the summary, learn a little bit better. And then when you come back into to retake the quiz or retake that assignment, it should be available for you. If not, then send me a message, but give it a little time and exit and come back in, and you should be able to retake it to get the best grade possible. So you do that for 2 lessons this week, and those are your assignments. However, if you find yourself trying to catch up with past assignments, or this week you're overwhelmed with, I don't think I could possibly do 2 of these, then I have an extra credit option this week. Zoom. I've been having Zoom at a regularly scheduled time each week. A handful of you have been showing up because I've made this optional all along. I just kind of answer your questions or help you along if you have problems, and if you don't have problems, then just do the assignments and you don't need to show up. However, I want to encourage more people to show up just to see your beautiful smiling faces. Let's get you to join the Zoom. So extra credit if you join this week's Zoom. Again, at our regularly scheduled times, you go to our Zoom, and if I see you there, make sure you log in with your name and your identity. I see your face. I want to actually see you, not just lurking in darkness. And then, join in with some discussion, either about the poems from last week or questions that you might have about the things that you've already read for this week's assignments. And we could talk a little bit about all that. And by doing that, the extra credit is going to be to cancel out 1 assignment. So I will excuse you from 1 assignment. If that means that this week you only want to do 1 of the 2 Edgenuities, and you go to the Zoom, and then you're excused from the other. For those of you who are looking at makeup assignments, you've missed either through technical issues or whatever, you've missed some past assignments. Well, come to this week's Zoom, and I will X out 1 of the past zeros that you probably have in the gradebook, and it'll help you with the catching up. All right, I might continue to do that for all the Zooms moving forward. Each week, I do want to continue still talking to you live at the scheduled times, but by doing that, let's have that discussion, that question and answer, that thinking back onto your assignments and what we do through the Zoom could count as the work that you do on 1 of your week's assignments. Looking forward to seeing you at the Zoom, and then beyond that, I will say that next week we'll go away from Edgenuity once again. So this coming week, we're at April 27th is Monday, going through May 2nd. Remember, things are due on Saturday. But the following week, that week of May, we're going to continue doing things, but I think at that point we'll jump out once again out of Edgenuity and give you some kind of writing assignment, whether an essay or a prompt or just some getting you to write once again, and about current events, maybe about COVID, a question about the world and what your thoughts are. So have that in mind. I want you guys to continue reflecting on this unique situation that we are in. All right, this is not normal for our yearly existence. You've been through school for this many years. You've been, our day in, day out routines have been altered dramatically. And you should have some thoughts about that. So reflect on how this is affecting your lives personally, just you, or your family's work situation, financial situations, health situation. So there's a lot that to be said, but it takes some thought and reflection about where you are in the world, and not just on a video screen, not just, clicking or doing homework. There's the life that we're living, and, where are we in there? I'm going to give you an opportunity to express that to me in the coming weeks. All right. I think we've covered several of the topics for this week, next week, last week's poems, and all in all, just keep learning, people. Use this time productively to learn a new language, learn a new skill, learn a musical talent, do something productive and useful with your time so that we come back from this, hopefully in the fall, see each other and your new bright and shiny people. All right, maybe that's overly ambitious. Either case. All right, see you at the Zoom this week. Do your assignment. Have an awesome week. Peace.